And so let us begin our time of meditation. Let's take a deep breath in and let it out. Another deep breath in and out. Settling into the body, settling the mind and the heart. Practicing being present, letting be, letting go. Bringing the sense of a tiny little smile to the eyes, a little smile to the mouth, a little smile to the heart and the belly. Noticing body sensations arising. Being present, bringing the fullness of the awareness to the mind and the heart, and letting be. Practicing simple awareness as the body settles and as the mind settles, being aware, noticing the quality of awareness in this moment. Being aware of the ears that are hearing. Being aware of the thoughts that are arising. Noticing if you've drifted off into a thought. We can label it thinking or maybe judging. Just notice the difference in quality between being lost in the thought and being in that spacious awareness of thinking. The awareness of thinking, the awareness of the body, the awareness of breath. For the next few minutes, in the silence, practicing awareness. letting the body settle, open, attentive to sensation, letting the mind relax, be present. Bringing an open, spacious awareness to the heart. time you find yourself in a thought, have a little homecoming, bringing your awareness back to being aware of thinking, being aware of body sensation, resting in this present moment, being present and letting be. In just a minute, the practice time will be over. So let's take this last 60 seconds to send loving kindness to ourselves. Think of that loving kindness experience radiating throughout your being. Send that loving kindness to the person next to you, behind you, in front of you. to all beings in Marin, like a radio beacon sending loving kindness out into the world. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings know the causes of happiness. May this being be happy right here and right now. Thank you for your practice, and thank you for your presence.
Jeremy, and the Renegade Monk. Oh, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Is everyone wet and sticky like I am? Come on up, choir. We need the water, though, so no complaining, right? No complaining. We need the water. So someone just informed me that solstice is like right now. Right, 10 a.m. So happy solstice, everybody. There's so much going on this time of year, so welcome. First off, welcome. I'm Reverend Deanne. I'm the senior minister here at Unity in Marin, and I love the holiday season. All right, I love it. We got solstice, we got Hanukkah, we got Christmas, we got Kwanzaa, all of it, and it's all about showing up in the world. How are we going to show up in the world? And so if you're new to Unity, welcome. We're glad that you're here with us. You might be watching online, so I want everyone to turn around and just say hello to everyone who's watching online right now. Good morning, whenever you're watching. We just know that you're with us in consciousness, because we're a community that understands that the spiritual prism that we are choosing to live through is more powerful and more real than what might show up for our senses. And I know it's hard sometimes, because when we can touch it and feel it, it feels more real. But it's the spiritual understanding of life itself that is the true reality. And we're going to talk more about that, but Advent here in Unity is all about what is the spiritual powers, abilities, capacities, and practices are we stepping into so that we are rebirthing the Christ consciousness on Christmas Eve. Yes? We understand in Unity that this isn't a story that happened in the past. We understand it as a story that's happening within us right now, in every moment, and we honor it particularly at this time of year. So it is Hanukkah. Ta-da, right? We're on the last night of Hanukkah this evening. So in honor of Hanukkah, and in honor of the fact that this is all about joy, we're going to start off with a little bit more high energy than we usually do. Is everyone okay with that? And I want everyone to sort of understand that contemplation doesn't have to just happen in stillness. We get attached. The only way I can be truly centered is if I'm not moving. And that's not very helpful when we're out in the world, is it? So I want to invite us into a different practice today. And I also want to let the live stream know that we are working on that echo. We think we have it solved. If we don't, please make sure to note it in the comments in the chat. And we got our folks watching that to see what's going to happen. Okay? Can we give our tech team some love? Because that echo, it's like a little gremlin in the wires. They've been trying to reproduce it during the week over and over and over. They set up everything, and there's no echo. And then we come in on Sunday, and there's an echo, right? And so they think they tracked it down, though. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the choir.
Dance the hora, gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. C'est vivant to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night They shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Savivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Savivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. We'll have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Savivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather around the table, we'll give you a treat. Savivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Yeah, sit down. Mazel tov. I heard a mazel tov out there. Whew. All right. So everyone just take a deep breath, maybe several deep breaths. But can you feel something? Right? It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. I know sometimes the world is dark, right? We're in the midst of loss, we're in the midst of grief. But there is that which is always available to us. And whether or not we feel we can partake in it directly, can we just watch other people generate the joy? And does that land on us in some way? So I'm going to invite Gabrielle Javier to come up. You're going to be spared my singing voice this year. The white one? And we're going to light the Hanukkah candles. And the miracle of Hanukkah is really about the rededication of the temple. Right? That's the story of Hanukkah, that the temple was desecrated, and they were able to go in and clean it up, but there was only one cruse of oil, of the holy oil, that was only supposed to last 24 hours. And yet they lit it with faith. They lit it, and it lasted for the full 7 days, longer that it took to create more of this holy oil. So that's what we're celebrating. That even in the midst of the deepest darkness, that there is the light within and the light without that is available to us. So as Gabrielle is singing, I'm just going to invite you to think about what it is that you're being invited to rededicate to yourself. What are you rededicating in your own temple of your beingness? What is being asked to be moved through in some way so that something can arise that is light and love and joy? Gabrielle?
Chag Sameach, happy holidays. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim chahem bazman chazeh. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shechechianu vekimanu vehigianu lezman hazeh.
And so we segue smoothly from Hanukkah to Advent because it's really the same thing, yeah? We're talking about the light within. We're talking about opportunities to heal something that feels broken. And we have been working, look at our Advent wreath. Do you remember how we started? Faith with a bare Advent wreath. And we add peace and some green begins to grow. And we add love and more green begins to appear. And as we move through the world anchoring those things, we literally bloom. The truth of our divine nature just gets to show up in the world like that. So as we light this candle that is joy, I just invite you to hold for yourself that place, that space that is independent of circumstance, that is that wellspring of light, of love, of peace, anchored in faith. I'm going to invite Trish Brady to come forward with the prayer box. I'm going to invite the prayer chaplains to rise and to encircle the community, and anyone who feels as if they anchor consciousness in the world, please feel free to join them. If you're watching at home, know that you're right here with us. And so we breathe together, gently and lovingly. Jeremy, can you share your gifts with us while I'm praying aloud? Thank you. So we open the heart and we quiet the mind, recognizing the joy that is not always exuberance, but that joy that is nearer than our breath. The joy that is ours, that Christ, Buddha, light of beingness. And so as we breathe into this space, just open your heart in gratitude for the blessings, gratitude for the love that guides us into our actions. It's calling to mind those who are just so powerful in their blessings in our life. And just feeling the love, feeling the joy that they are here with us, whether they're here with us in body, or whether they're here with us in spirit. In this moment, there is no difference. And so I invite you right now to just place in this container the names of those of who you want held in this prayer field of love. The names of those you value, the names of those you're grateful for. The names of those who support you. And just seeing them, seeing the light that they are, seeing the joy that they are. And you can feel free to place whatever sore spot in your heart you might be carrying during this holiday season. Feel free to place that in the container as well. And just knowing that there is nothing more powerful than love. The great harmonizer, the great unifier. And it is from that love that our joy, that energy that we bring to our acts of love, that it nourishes and sustains us. So I see each person who is in this prayer field, I see each person who is in this room, I see them sustained and nourished right now. Sustained as love, sustained as joy, sustained as that perfect peace. How grateful I am for this beautiful community. How grateful I am for all beings of light and love, all who are saying yes to always being more and never less. How grateful I am for all of us that reach and try and perhaps feel as if we fall. How grateful I am for our capacity to be love and to shine our joy. Transforming this world, moment by moment, act by act. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. Invite anyone who is in the lobby to come on down. And we have an Advent reflection. So the Advent booklets are in the chair backs in front of you. Feel free to take some and give them to other people, please. And the prayer chaplains have been doing their reflections on the Advent readings. And so today we're going to share Jen Kelly's.
Welcome to Advent Reflections. My name is Jen Kelly, and I am a prayer chaplain at Unity in Marin. Today's affirmation is, I am a radiant expression of light, love, and abundance. I choose joy. In this Advent season, anchored in faith, peace, and love, we turn to joy. The idea of joy feels intimately connected with the holiday season, sometimes even creating an expectation to be joyful.
With a multitude of celebrations, time with family and friends, and gifts given and received. And certainly all of these can add to the joy in our lives. But joy can also bubble up from within, transforming our experience of life. Like light, love, and abundance, joy is a divine gift, part of our spiritual identity, not dependent on circumstances. We can align with and access joy in any moment. Choosing joy is a spiritual practice that can be as simple as opening your heart and mind in quiet contemplation and letting the presence of joy fill you. Or finding experiences and practices that fulfill, inspire, and uplift you. I invite you to be the radiant expression of joy that you are. To let that fill you up and let that spill over into the world and share it. The affirmation again is, I am a radiant expression of light, love, and abundance. I choose joy. Abundant blessings to you.
Good morning, Unity. Thank you, Jen. Are you here? Thank you, Jen. Very, very nice. And you know, this is the last week of the Advent Reflections, so do check it out. They're available on YouTube and on our Facebook page. So you can go there and catch up with the ones that you missed. We are all part of the welcome team. You hear that every week, right? I am part of it. I've met several new people in our community over this past year, and I'm like, yay. I have an affirmation that I say. I'll dig it up later and read it to you. It helps me to kind of get connected with others. You can follow us on many of the social media platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and Blue Sky. I think I'm on a couple of those, all right? And we need 187 more subscribers for our YouTube channel. So tell your friends and family, send them a link, have them subscribe. And if you're not already connected via text with us, you can send a text to 415-991-7111 with the word welcome. That'll get you on our weekly text string. We don't bombard you with a lot of texts, and the text actually goes to Reverend Deanne, and she does respond. If you want to be on there for the Advent reflections, there's only a couple, I think one left, but you can text the word Advent, to the same number, but only after you've signed up the word welcome. All right, in your bulletin, there's a spiritual connection card. So you can fill that out with your name, information, any prayer support, and that can go in the basket when the offertory comes around. Ooh, this holiday schedule. Lots going on here. It's available. You can see it on our website. I think we still have it posted on the bulletin board out there, and you can pull up your phone and snap a picture of it right now if you like. Okay. We have a vision, a mission, and core values here. I want you to know, say the vision with me. A world spiritually awakened and transformed through realizing our divine potential. And our mission, Unity in Marin, is a loving community dedicated to spiritual growth, inclusivity, and service. We honor and care for ourselves, each other, and the natural world. And our core values: connectivity, inclusivity, authenticity. All right. And our holiday decor and hospitality sponsor is Lee Young. Yay. Happy birthday, Lisa Klink, Sissy. Is that Sissy there? Hey. Deanna. Happy birthday, Deanna. It says I wasn't sure how this, we really love you, or we really, really love you. Really, really, really. All right. Thank you, Alan, Lee, Lonnie, and Blue. Blue is their dog. All right. Artist of the week is Gabrielle.
And Sarah Esparri did the Advent wreath. Yay.
Oh. Thank you, Sarah. And the artist of the week is Gabrielle Javier, and I believe it is in the breezeway. So she has the watercolor postcards, so do check it out. And I'm going to have Reverend Deanne come up for our sacred service spotlight.
So each week we like to honor and highlight those who show up in sacred service here at Unity in Marin, because we wouldn't be here without the people who say yes. And the choir can come on up. Cindy's signaling like mad. So who we're actually going to honor are some members of the choir. So they went a couple of weeks ago to Tommy, so where Tommy is living now. And they sang and they did holiday songs. So it's Cindy Acker, Lucille Allison, Yvette Connor, Claire Grinzel, Cindy Hall, Wendy Miley, and Jeannie Skybrook, and I think Jason also went and played, yes. And so here are some photos of them with Tommy at where he's living now in his assisted living center. So can we just give them some love for bringing and spreading holiday cheer? It really does matter. And then if you are interested in serving in some way, we are going to undecor, we're going to undeck the halls. And so that's happening on Saturday, January 3rd, and it's from 10 to 5. I don't know if it actually goes till 5, but starts at 10 a.m., and guess what? There's pizza. So talk to Charcel if you'd like to help out with that.
I'm going to try to sing and direct the choir at the same time. We are singing 3 songs that have to do with joy. One is called Joy, one is called Joyful, Joyful, and one is called Joyful, Joyful. And I just want to give you a little bit of information. The song Joy by Kirk Franklin was released because he wanted to be able to bring gospel joy, the sound of gospel joy, and to express inner peace that moves beyond any worldly difficulties that someone may be having. And so from that, he created this song. And then Whitney Houston asked to use it in the movie Preacher's Wife, and the Georgia Mass Choir and Whitney Houston sang it. And so when you think of the most challenging time, he felt that joy precedes that and is greater than, and so that is the reason for this song.
was sent from up above, this special gift of love, more precious than silver or gold. He was sent this holiday to take our pain away. Oh, joy, joy in my soul. Joy in my soul.
They made that look easy. That's not an easy song. I just want to say that. Can we give them some more love, please? Whew. You know, whenever I get to joy, right? So I have shared how when I was finishing up my training to be an agape practitioner, at the service that they did, where we were installed, our installation service, each of us was picking a quality randomly out of a bag, and that quality was like ours, right? And the whole community was going to support us to live into that quality. They went alphabetically, and back then I wasn't a Morency, I was a Weir. So I was all the way at the end. I was the last person. And so as I'm sitting there, I was watching myself because I knew right away that I wanted radiant joy. Like I knew it. I was like, that's my thing. And then every time somebody reached their hand in, I'd have a moment of like, oh, I hope they don't get joy. Now, that's a horrible thing to wish for anybody. I hope they don't get joy. And I sort of caught myself after a couple of moments, and I was like, oh, just chill. It's all good. Whatever I get, I know that I'm radiant joy. Whatever happens is going to happen in the room. And guess what I picked? Joy. I picked joy, right? So, which was all just part of that understanding of sort of who we actually are. So whenever I get to this time of year, a part of me like lights up. But then there's the other part of me that struggles. Because there are things in this world that are hard. There's losses that we go through. The holidays are hard sometimes because our loved ones aren't with us, perhaps. And that might be because they're physically distant, but it could be because they've passed. It could be because there's estrangement. It could be any number of things. And so that, like, there's a tension. Can you feel the tension? So this is why our practice at Advent is so important, because we want to be able to. Am I not on? No, this thingy. Oh, there we go. My wife helped me out, but I figured it out. Okay. So we start with faith, right? And that bareness, which is a lot of what the tension is, I think, for all of us at all times. The bareness of what might be happening in the world, of what might be happening within our hearts, of what might be happening within our relationships. And so faith, as Unity holds it, is our willingness to trust in the unseen, our inner yes to divine possibility, and the seed of our spiritual perception. It's the seed of it all. And from our faith, we can become grounded in that spiritual perception, which is where peace begins to become something that we can experience. It's an inner state of stillness. It's a space for our compassionate awareness to begin to become present in a way that we can acknowledge it. And that's because we're not focused just on what's happening around us. We're focused on what's happening within us, and we're focused on the greater presence that is always available and always accessible. And from there, we get to step into love. And love, as Unity understands it, isn't a feeling. It isn't an emotion. I talked about this last week, right? Emotions change and shift, thank goodness. But love is an emotion, but that's not the love we're talking about. We're talking about love as our capacity to harmonize and unify. That is our capacity to be that, a unifier, a harmonizer. And so love is how the divine takes form. Love is how we activate and live into our values through the choices that we make. And then that brings us to joy. And I love Mother Teresa says, a joyful heart is the inevitable result of a heart burning with love. Joy is something that is ours. It is our birthright. But it is rooted in our capacity of spiritual perception and in our capacity to show up as the voice, the hands, the very feet of love. So we can think of it this way. Faith opens the eyes of the heart. Peace steadies our gaze. Love is our ability to show up in time and space. And joy is the effort and mindset that we bring to our actions and choices. Let me be very clear. Joy is not easy. It's easeful, but it's not easy. It's not just like, oh yeah, whatever, and then joy happens. We have to put our focus to it. We have to put our intention to it. We have to consciously bring our joy into the world and shine our light. And just to be clear, pleasure is not the same as joy. And how you can know the difference is that pleasure decreases the more we indulge. That one glass of wine, that might be fabulous. By the fifth or sixth glass of wine, I'm not sure we're all feeling quite as pleasurable. Joy increases the more that we practice, right? It increases as we practice it. So think of it as a regenerative cycle where love is calling us into action. We bring joy to our actions. This creates more love, and love calls us to act. Can you feel the regenerative cycle of this? So joy is what enables love to sustain itself. This joy is how we don't get tired. Joy is how we don't get burned out. Joy is how we don't get hopeless. Joy is the antidote to all of that tiredness. Anybody in here tired? But it's not, I want everyone to sense how it's not something elusive. And that joy is available to us even in the midst of our deepest sorrow. When my father passed away, Chris will share with you, I was it really kind of knocked me out for about 3 weeks. I really was struggling with just navigating my grief. The grief just came in waves, and I just had to keep allowing that grief to come. And in allowing that grief to come, I really couldn't do much of anything else. I just had to be with the grief. But in those moments, there was, even in the grief, which is an emotion, which is changeable and mutable, my joy of my relationship with my father would shine through. I'd have these moments of just absolute clarity around how much he loved me, how much I loved him, how we somehow found a way to heal things in our relationship, how we didn't necessarily get to heal everything in our relationship, but I was working it right then. writing him letters, listening for his response. There was joy in that. Can you feel that? And it took courage on my part, and it took effort on my part, and it asked me to step up in some way. We are always being called to show up in a way that makes us feel vulnerable. True joy requires that we are vulnerable. Our vision statement, a world spiritually awakened and transformed through realizing our divine potential. We can't live this vision if we're not joy. Can you feel the truth of that? We need to step into all of this Advent cycle, the faith, the peace, the love, and the joy, which enables us to sustain. I found this, and it really struck me. I was reading about this. So I don't know if you know, in Texas, Abbott has sort of targeted the crosswalks that are painted with pride flags. And Black Lives Matters, like anything that's sort of been put in crosswalks, by saying that if those crosswalks aren't made, or if that stuff doesn't go away, that he's going to withhold county and city and state funding. So Oaklawn United Methodist Church said, we have to act on this from love. And so they have private property that nobody has control over except them. And this is what they did. Right? This is what they did to the front of their church. And doesn't it just bring you joy? So this was their statement, which I think is so powerful. It's important because silence is not neutral. Everyone breathe with me on this. Silence is not neutral. Silence in the face of harm always sides with the oppressor. We believe love belongs in public. And then they go on to say, this is not a political act. And I have been saying this again and again and again here. When we stand in our values, it is not about politics. It is about being the moral compass for this country. This is not a political act, it is a pastoral one. It's an expression of our faith in a God whose covenant love is wider than fear and whose grace refuses to be painted over. And I love this last line. The rainbow is a reminder that God keeps showing up, especially for those the world tries to silence. Right? The rainbow is God's covenant. Right? It's a covenant. It is an agreement. This is what happens when we allow that to grow within us. And you know, it wasn't easy. This required effort. Right? This whole community showed up for this, right? It wasn't something that just, happened. Can you imagine the conversations they had in this community about this? Can you imagine what was going on within this community in order to make that manifest? Joyful effort. That's what we're being invited into, to bring our joy and to bring it rooted from love. If we want more joy, we must use joy. And I found, this is a quote from the New York Times asks people to send in like their best, like what's your best like way to live for the year? And I think this is like from 2023. Be a fountain, not a drain. And I love that, right? Can you be a fountain of joy instead of a drain, instead of sucking the joy out of the room? So I just want to talk a little bit about what Norman Fisher in his book talks about spiritual laziness. And he says most of us are not lazy in how much we do, but he says we are lazy about anchoring all we do in love, wholeness, and being a benefit to others. Can you feel the truth of that? It's not about what you're doing. It's about where are you coming from? What is the consciousness that you are bringing into the world? And we want our acts, whatever they are, to be acts of love, to be acts of joy, to honor our core values, authenticity, inclusivity, connectivity, to truly respect other people, listen to other people when they tell us something, even if it's really hard to hear. To acknowledge that there are other perspectives and other perceptions out there. And that part of our work is to show up in that space. To not cover things up. And to act from a pastoral understanding. Not from a place of anger or frustration or fear. We're being invited to move from love. Rumi says, when you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy. And that's that divine flow. That's that space where you just, you know that you know. Everything we've been doing in Advent builds the muscles for us to be able to stand in that space and to show up, to truly show up. That community in Texas, do you think they're vulnerable right now? They are, right? They are vulnerable right now. Are they a light? The quote I used last week for Hanukkah, right? Which is, don't complain, be a light in the darkness. They are being a light right now. They are letting people know that you're not alone. It's about connection. It's about a deep respect and appreciation. So, it sounds cheesy, right? Choose joy, like you expected to see it on one of those cutouts, like hanging in a salon or something, right? Choose joy, use joy, live joy. But guess what? That is actually what we're all invited to do. Everybody say this with me. Choose joy, use joy, live joy. Now tell it to the people around you. And doesn't that automatically start to shift something? We need to pay attention to what helps keep our vibrational frequency open, what makes it stay available. That's why we come together in sacred community. So let's take this into our time of meditation. Just breathing into that joy, the joy that arises as we step into the spirit of Hanukkah, as we step into this culmination of Advent, which is all about rededicating ourselves. What are you dedicating yourself to right now? What is going to be your intention, your raison d'etre, right? What is it that you are being invited to show up as that is authentically you? So we anchor that space of quiet and peace. Well, we're not at peace yet. First, we start with faith, right? So just feel the seed of our knowing. The seed, the mustard seed that grows, that can move mountains. And just allow and welcome the peace, the groundedness, the centeredness that arises as we allow our spiritual understanding to arise and to be where we see from and live from. And as we rest in that centered space, we become an avenue of love. We become a place where love wants to act in the world through us, as us, for each other. And so I invite you to just bring into mind any situation that you know is in need of love right now. A person, a place, a part of your body maybe. And from that, just welcome the joy that is your birthright. The joy that arises from an alignment with the truth of who we are, the joy that is our true nature shining forth fully, powerfully, lovingly, compassionately. And just allow yourself to just be. Be with who and what you truly are as we rest here for a few moments in the silence. And so it is from this space, this place, that I invite you to just see yourself choosing joy, using joy, and living joy. How are you being called to show up as the energy of love and wholeness for the betterment of this world? There is that which is yours to do and to be in the world. Just opening up to a willingness to choose, to always be choosing so that the world is a better place. Leaving the world better than we found it. How grateful I am for this season of Advent. How grateful I am for this season of Hanukkah and the opportunity to rededicate ourselves to our values, to who and what we truly are. And gratitude for this and so much more. I do give thanks. Releasing it right here, right now, knowing it is done. And I invite you to know this with me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. So our affirmation today, I'll say it first. Today I share my joy as a fountain. Today I share my light as a fountain of joy. I share my joy as a fountain of joy. You could say that too, I guess. I anchor all I do in love, wholeness, and being of benefit to the world. Can we know this together, please? Today I share my light as a fountain of joy. I anchor all I do in love, wholeness, and being of benefit to the world. And so it is. Thank you, everyone.
Sing a song called Joyful, Joyful. It was known by the title Ode to Joy or Hymn to Joy, and many people think that it was created by Beethoven, which is actually not true. The lyrics were written by a man named Harry Van Dyke, in 1907, and he was going to college and looked upon the beauty of the Berkshire Mountains in Massachusetts, and he combined his thoughts about science and faith and came up with those words, and then looked back 70 years to when the musical piece was written by Beethoven, and went to the president of the college and said, I think we should put this together, and that's how it came about. And Beethoven got all the credit, so I'm just... So we're going to sing that one, and then later you're going to hear another version of the same song.
Wow, thank you, choir. Again. Yeah, stay put. All right, again, the calendar is full, so check out the website, look on the bulletin board, take a picture. So we have the Christmas Eve. Actually, I'll get to that in a moment. No discussion circle today. We're going to have a jam session, a holiday jam session with Jeannie Skybrook. How many ukulele players do we have out here? Okay. And any other instruments? All right, lyrics for the Christmas carols. So, YOU, all right. Cool. So that's, All right, so we do have the Christmas Eve candle lighting ceremony on Christmas Eve, of course, at 6 p.m. All are welcome. Dress warmly, bring an umbrella. And then next Sunday we have Kwanzaa, led by Dr. Cindy Acker. Very special talk. Really always enjoy and learn a lot that I thought you would look at me and say, oh, he knows that already. No, I learn a lot. And then after service, there's a potluck. There's some ideas there in terms of what to bring: fried chicken, mac and cheese, cornbread, collard greens. Yes. Gumbo, ribs with sauce. Now, when I read the collard greens, my mom is Japanese. She did not make very good collard greens. And I grew up hating collard greens until I was an adult and somebody brought some collard greens to a dinner, and they were so good. So,
You just happen to have it cooked right.
exactly. But she can make some mean sushi. All right. And then after that service, there'll be the Community Social Justice Choir meeting right after the Kwanzaa service. So bring your voices. Faith in action. I'd like to invite myself. How convenient. And know that this faith in action is for 2026. Right? 2025 is just about behind us. So your contributions, donations will be for 2026. And the talk of joy really speaks to me. My karate school is called Mojo Dojo Karate, and years ago Linda had the license plate of More Joy, and so the M-O-J-O was meaningful for her that way. For me, it was a mother of Japanese origin. And then we have a 1-year-old. She's not a puppy anymore, but her name is Sadie Joy. And she brings a lot of joy into our lives. This community, Unity in Marin, is really a special place for me. I met my wife here over 20 years ago, and we got married 10 years ago in Maui, and Reverend Medora married us, and that was very special. One of our, I don't see him here, but I lived with one of our community members here for about 3 or 4 years, and we started a breakfast together. It was just he and I at first. Then we opened it up to a group, and we've been meeting monthly for over 20 years. And it's, again, just part of our community. I've participated in many book groups. First one with Leslie Woods when we were meeting. It was at church where we were in San Rafael. No, before that. Willow Street, 8 Willow, I believe it was. And that's where the book study was, the 4 Agreements. And that was a very meaningful book. And our group continued meeting afterwards. And very special group of people. And then about 2.5 years ago, we started a spiritual movie night at the dojo as part of the summer small group program here. And that continues, and we had a really lovely movie this past Friday. And it's really opportunity to meet and talk and get to know our community members at a deeper level. We share things that you don't share over coffee, although the potluck over there is, a nice place to hang out. I mentioned earlier that I have this affirmation that I say, and I've been having a weekly call with one of our former Unity members, and we talk every Monday morning, and the affirmation that I share with her is that I am warm and welcoming, and people feel safe with me. My genuine curiosity and joyful spirit make connecting with others feel natural and effortless. A couple weeks ago, I met a neighbor here. I didn't know that we were neighbors. And it's like, what a small world. So in closing, just like to invite you to pray on this question of how is Spirit guiding your giving? You know, when I first started, and I was on the board when Richard Manti was here, and I could not participate in the Faith in Action. You know, finances were like, a real struggle. And through the years, everything has changed. Everything has changed. And I owe a lot to just this community and the support that I've had through the years. Thank you, prayer chaplains. I've had and have wonderful prayer chaplain support. Thank you. All right, now our goal is 100% participation. All right, so give what you can. Every contribution helps. Thank you. And now it is time for giving and receiving. Ushers will be coming around shortly, and there's many ways to give. Church Center app, QR code. If you're streaming, there's a giving envelope in your bulletin, and there's a Faith in Action form that you can fill out and put it in the basket as the basket comes around. And I believe we have the choir. Affirmation. Whoops. And it's right here. All right, let's know the offering affirmation together. I am the power of abundance, giving and receiving gratefully. Thank you.
So we're back to the other joyful. And this song was written because the executives of Sister Act 1 asked Mervyn Warren if he would create a new arrangement, and he decided to add R&B and hip-hop. We're not going to do that. Because they wanted to create a powerful message of joy. And for them as well, it was challenging times, and they thought, let's do something more in this piece that helps people to build their inner confidence, their inner strength, and the understanding that music unifies, that it allows us through joy to reinvent ourselves and to find our own inner strength. And this is what they came up with.
Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee. Glory to the Son above. Melt the clouds
Getting mixed messages here. Come off, stay on. Oh, now we're getting the stay. Thank you, choir. Thank you, Cindy. Once again. All right, if you're not going to be here over the holidays, you can get a virtual holiday kit. It has all the goodies that you need for burning bowl and white stone ceremony. You can email the office, or if you're here today and you're not going to be around, pick one up in the office. So Burning Bowl, that's our first Sunday in January. It's a special event. Don't want to miss it. Amen. And then the next Sunday we'll have the white stone ceremony and divine letter writing. And I received my letter in the mail, I think it was last week, and I was afraid to open it. But I opened it, and I was just really touched with what was written and what has happened over the past year. So do participate in that. Then we have our vision board workshop on the 11th, same Sunday. So start the new year off with a bang. Get your vision out there, and Melissa Masters will be leading that. And then Unity and Marin prayer chaplains, if you can rise, as they are here to support all of us. And if you haven't tapped one on the shoulder lately, do so. They really take care of us. Thank you. Do we have kids today? Looks like it. Oh, we do. I see we have kids today.
Can everyone please rise, because we have a blessing that we say for the youth that are here with us and for the youth of the world. And let everyone know for Christmas Eve we will have childcare. So just let people know we will have childcare on Christmas Eve if people want to come. And so we extend our hands and our hearts, and we hold the youth that are here, the youth of the world, as we know this together. Oh my goodness. We say, you are the perfect expression of divine light. We love you exactly the way you are. And so it is.
Let's say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. Now we have our community song.
So we're going to sing Joy to the World, but the choir has to show you what we're doing at the end. And so we want to teach you how to scoop up joy. Choir, can you show that? And joy. That's how you scoop it up. And so at the very end, we're going to ask you to scoop up joy 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So just be prepared after the end of a traditional song that you're going to be untraditional.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let all receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let all the songs employ rocks, hills, and plains. Repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat, repeat the sounding joy. She rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of her righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of her love, and wonders, wonders of her love. We rule the world with truth and grace, and make the nations prove the glories of our righteousness, and wonders of our love, and wonders of our love, and wonders, wonders of our love. Joy to the world, joy to the world, joy to the world, joy, joy to the world, joy, joy to the world, joy, joy, joy to the world, joy, joy, joy to the world, joy, 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 joy to the world, joy to the world, joy.
Happy Advent, everyone. Please join us for the Christmas Eve service on Wednesday night. We'll see what the weather's like, but we do have Unity Hall set up so that we don't have to be outside in the rain. I'll be right here at the door. Please come say hi to me. And Omar for filling in for Michelle. Thank you. Happy Advent, everybody. Happy Hanukkah.